And to our viewers all across the world, welcome to your Poetic Insult on the Weekend Show. My name is Emeka Uzurumba, and on the politics segment, we've just been talking about different things plaguing and afflicting Nigeria in terms of insecurity. So what if a writer could put everything about Nigeria in a compendium, in a book, talking about the insecurity, about the Northeast? That would be The World Was in Her Hands by Chitra. Good morning, Chitra.
Good morning.
Welcome on the program.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so you're going to be reading us some excerpts from your book, The World Was in Her Hands. Okay, so
Perfect.
you can read for us.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
It was a surprise attack, and they were plenty. Everybody was running. At that time, I was over 6 months pregnant with my 8th child and worried how I could keep my family safe, especially when they started killing indiscriminately. I had never seen people kill like this. I saw so much blood that I felt as if I wanted to die. Their primary target was the military, but if they saw any men or boys, they would shoot them too. Even children as young as 12, 10 years old, including my husband. He was among the first they killed on their way into town. I didn't know for some time and was hoping he had found a way to escape, until I saw his dead body lying where they had killed him. Men started coming to my house, pleading for help. Every time I brought out a ladder so they could climb into the ceiling and hide. They were ordinary people, my neighbors, men selling goods in a local shop. I didn't even know some of them. At that time, men were running and entering any house they saw where the women would hide and keep them safe. I hid 19 men in total and saved all of them, except one. A woman came to my house to ask after one of our neighbors to find out if he was hiding there. She said his wife was about to deliver and she wanted him to know. He overheard this and jumped down from the ceiling. He was so excited, it was their first child, that he insisted on going to his house. I said, "No, cool your mind, there's time. There are women who will take care of your wife and deliver the baby. We will find a way to escort you to see them, but please wait. I am begging you. It's not safe to go out just like that." He did not listen to me. He went out, and at the back of the street, one of them in a tree shot him while he was passing. 18. I saved 18 of them, but one of them I could not. With the others, the men would drop from the ceiling at midnight, and the women in whose houses they were hiding would escort them to escape. Many men went to the mountains. It took over a day of trekking before we brought them to safety. We dressed them in niqab and instructed them to keep their eyes to the ground. We would wear niqabs too, me who had never even wore hijab before, and go without slippers or shoes. We had no torchlight, nothing. We walked gently, silently to the mountains. Sometimes we came across fighters. They let us pass, never knowing we had men among us we were taking to safety. I did this about 7 times altogether over a period of about a month. Towards the end, I was 7 months plus 2 weeks pregnant, and it was really tough to walk there and back. Of course, the targeting of men was not the only threat. If they saw grown girls, they would collect them and go. If they saw boys, they would also carry them away. They would tie them with rope, put them inside their hillocks, and go away with our children. One of my neighbors, the wife of our malam, who taught our children Islamic studies, jumped to my house to advise me. "They are stealing girls. You have girls, auntie. You better hide them." But where could I hide them? I saw these big Ghana Must-Go bags that I used to keep cloth and my sewing items. I emptied them and put my 3 girls and 1 boy inside. My firstborn, a girl, was 15 years old at that time. When I hear what they do to girls of her age, how they abduct and force them to marry, I am so thankful that I hid her. They entered my house and asked me, "Where is your husband?" I replied that he's not around. As all they could see was me heavily pregnant with young children, they left.
That's so nice, Chitra. So can I ask you what inspired you to write this compendium of stories? I mean, for people in the Northeast.
Yes. So at the time, I was living and working in my degree. I was spending my time going to the LGAs of Borno, also to Yobe, Adamawa State, and even across the border to our neighbors in Chad,
Niger.
Cameroon, and Niger.
Yeah.
And I was coming across such incredible stories, like the one that I just read from. And I found that these stories were really not making it into the public conversation of what was happening in northeast Nigeria. That the media, understandably, tended to focus on the day-to-day, so where was being attacked, what Shekau had said, what the government was saying, but they weren't really highlighting what it means to live through conflict and violence, what people are suffering, but also the decisions and the choices that they're making. And this woman is just one of many who has really put her life at risk to save others, and that's why I wanted to read from this chapter. So I felt that we needed to know what was happening. I also felt that future generations needed to know. And so for me, I really hope that this book is not only for us living today, but also part of the archive of the future. So future generations will know what their ancestors passed through.
Okay. Where can your books be gotten?
They can be gotten here in Abuja, in Lagos, in Kano, in Kaduna. Here in Abuja, you can buy them at Roving Heights, Spine & Label. You can also buy them online from the Cassava Republic website, and they can be sent to you.
Okay, your final words. How would you tell people, or why would you tell people or indulge them to read your books?
Because by reading this book, you can know more about Nigeria. You can know more about what's happening. You can hear the stories that you've never heard. You can be filled with awe, both about how much people are suffering, but also how they're surviving. I always say that for me, living and working across the Lake Chad Basin region, I've seen both the worst, but also the best of humanity.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, Chitra.
Thank you.
I do appreciate your voice. I mean, and this is a lovely book here. We have The World Was in Our Hands. It talks about people's experiences. I mean, men, women, children. I mean, the book is so vast, and I think you should go out there and get your copy. I love the viewers all across the world. Don't go anywhere and stay tuned, because we have more coming up for you on The Week in Show.